live every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hosted by me, your girl Lashia. Join me as I discuss social topics, spotlight independent artists, and share financial tips. Join the conversation. I want to hear what you have to say. Think Different TV, where minds meet. You're the reason I wake up, the reason I smile.
But the secret is you got to coordinate. Most people don't coordinate, so you got to coordinate.
Uh-oh. What happens in episode 7 of round 1 when Ariel goes up against Trey in the Tournament of Champions? Find out by tuning in Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Think Different TV YouTube channel. Imagine a high-stakes trivia game show where contestants face off in intense battles of wit, strategy, and nerve. Every decision matters. You can take a chance on yourself or your competitor with the ultimate goal to come out on top and win the grand prize. It's not just about knowledge, it's about strategy, guts, and the thrill of uncertainty. Our enigmatic host, Bubbles, guides contestants through the ultimate trivia showdown. This is Think Different TV's Player Pass. Are you ready to pop? Catch Think Different TV's Player Pass every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Think Different TV YouTube channel. Enjoying the show? Big fan of trivia game shows? Would you like to be a contestant on Tdtv's Pop? We'd love to have you. Contact us at 267-225-1824 or email lashiastar2@gmail.com.
The champ is here! 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 The champ is here!
We go drink water and mind my business. Drink water and mind my business. I go drink water and mind my business. Drink water and mind my business.
Hey, you're watching my mommy on Think Different TV.
Hey guys, what is up? What is up? Happy holidays! All right, so we are going out with a bang. Okay, now this is season 3, episode 45, but it's technically episode 135. Hey, so in 15 weeks, we will be hitting 150 here on Think Different TV. And real quick, let me check my audio, make sure everything is good. Okay. Everything is good, everything's set. All right. So, Think Different TV season 4 is starting January 6, 2025. And season 2 of Think Different TV's Player Pass is starting April 1st, 2025. So I'm super excited. And I just want to know, how rude of me? How rude am I? My name is Lashia. Welcome to Think Different TV, where minds meet. How was y'all weekend? Did y'all enjoy yourselves? It was a little shaky for me. I wasn't happy that, my Eagles didn't pull through and beat the Commodes, but it is what it is at this point. I knew we had, before we played the Steelers, we had 4 games left. It was Steelers, Commodes, Cowgirls, and Cryants, right? And I was just like, okay, we're going to lose one of these games. There's no way. There's no way we're going to get 4 in a row. I felt bad for thinking that, but it is what it is at this point. So, yeah. I can't take a loss from the Cowgirls. I can't take a loss from the Cryants. And it would not have been good if we lost to the Steelers in our home. So I will take this loss. We weren't home, and the Commodes are a pretty decent team. So I give that to them. So it wasn't totally like I wasn't like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. What else happened? Oh, I want to say my condolences to the family and friends of Gary O, a very popular radio personality here in Philadelphia. He recently passed, so my condolences to his family and friends. You know, when you come up listening to certain people on the radio, like for me, it was Tony Brown, you know, and then they pass is like, okay, who is going to be that voice on the radio now? We have amazing radio personalities here in Philly, so to lose one of our own is like it hurts. It hurts. But yeah, that's what happened over the weekend. I got some announcements really quickly, and then we're gonna jump into our hot topic. So shout out to Black 31 Magazine. King George is the CEO and curator of Black 31 Magazine. If you want to find Black 31 Magazine, you have to go on IG and look up Black Magazine 31. King George has featured a lot of independent artists, entrepreneurs, people who give back to the community in his magazine. Not only is it digital, it is available for physical copies. So if you live in the Philadelphia area, or I think if you just hit them up and you say you want it mailed to you, I'm definitely sure you can go ahead and order an issue of Black or issues of Black 31 Magazine. This is the first issue that I was featured in. This is the second one. The Women's History Edition. I gotta stop saying I'm working on it, y'all. I'm working on it. This is the second issue that I was featured in. It is the Women's History Edition, and it has the beautiful India Rose on the cover. So check out my bull, King George, on IG at Black Magazine 31. Big things happening. Still working out that award show. I can't wait. And moving on. So we have LO, Birth by the Code. This album is streaming on all major platforms. I am on tracks 9 and 13 of this album. Go and get it. It is dope, okay? I want to also thank LO for allowing me to be part of his project. It was a great experience, and I hope to do it again very, very soon. Shout out to LO, and also I forgot to say shout out to King George. Wise Choice Massage Therapy is my business. I am a licensed massage therapist. I specialize in Swedish deep tissue prenatal and chair massage. I am based out of the Philadelphia area. So if you are looking to book a session, you know someone who would like to book a session, please contact me at Lashia Star. That's LASHIASTAR, or call 267-225-1824. Or you can also text 267-225-1824 to book an appointment. All right. Think Different TV's Player Pass is in the throes of its Tournament of Champions. And we are going into episode 7 of round 1. We are closing out the year with round 1. So next week will be the last episode of round 1. And then in January, we are airing round 2. Okay. So who will walk away with the $150? We all want to know, right? So make sure you tune in tomorrow at tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have Ariel and Trey going head to head. Who will be victorious? Who will advance to the next round? Find out by tuning in tomorrow at 9 p.m. All right? And that's Eastern Standard Time, guys. Now, I think I've gotten through all of my announcements. Hold on real quick. I think I've gotten through all of my announcements. Let me turn on my banner. All right, all right, all right. So, hi guys. Are you ready for this episode? I was looking for a topic to discuss. How am I going to close out this year? I had a few that I was playing around with, but then I go on TikTok and there's this new trend going on. No, it's not, the trend of we listen and we don't judge. I already did an episode on that. No, it was another trend. It actually was, well, this season is all about gift giving and gift opening. So how about we just open up a big old bag of trauma? How about that? When I went on to TikTok, it was a young lady who said she wanted to share her pink tote lid moment. And I was confused because I was like, okay, let me see what she's talking about. And this woman proceeds to go in about a very traumatic experience that she had. And I said, what does that have to do with a pink tote lid? Apparently, there was a young lady who now goes by Pink Tote Lid Girl on TikTok, who talked about an experience she literally just had where her parents, lacking emotional stability, just went off on her over something very, very small, insignificant, and how it had a lasting impact on her. Now, that was the Pink Tote Lid Girl. And this young lady was telling about her traumatic experience. And she decided to just lay it all out there. And now there's a whole thing on TikTok where it's hashtag pink tote lid moment, pink tote lid moment, pink tote lid. So without further ado, we're going to get into this hot topic, which I must warn you guys that there's going to be very sensitive content. So if you're not someone who wants to see if you don't want to hear anybody talk about their trauma or anything like that, you can't relate, feel free to change the channel. But if you are someone who can relate, who's never heard of this before, or want to get some insight on it, and maybe realize some things about yourself and about your childhood moments and even about your parenting style, feel free to stay. I want to give a shout out to my Facebook and Instagram and YouTube fam that is tuning in right now. Just want to let you know, if you are watching on Instagram, the stream will end in an hour. I'm gonna try to keep it at an hour. I don't want to keep you guys too long. We got the holidays right around the corner. But if it does go a little bit over an hour, feel free to come right on over to YouTube. And also, if you would like to leave a comment, you want to share your experience, share your pink tote lid moment in the comments, feel free to do so. If you do it on Instagram, I won't see it. So it's best to just come on over to YouTube and share your comment, because then I'll be able to see it and read it on screen. Also, before I jump into this hot topic, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you don't miss out on any new episodes or exclusive interviews or anything like that on my channel, replays, all of that good stuff. And if you like this live and you want to share it, you want to share the love, Share the love by sharing the live, and make sure you hashtag Tdtv in the comments. If you are watching the replay right now, thank you so much. Hashtag replay and leave your comments. I want to hear from you guys. We are past our goal of 1,500 subscribers. I am now at 1,572. And I am looking to add more. So if you would like to subscribe to my channel, please, please, please do so. And just remember that we have a full network here. On Sundays, we have In My Opinion with Think Different TV's Lashia on It's Yours Radio, which is every Sunday from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My segment takes place at 5 p.m. Well, 5:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And shout out to my bros, Donnie O and Beck, who's been rocking with me. We've been doing this for over a year now. So that's so exciting. You're tuning in right now to Think Different TV, which is every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here on Think Different TV's YouTube channel, Facebook, and Instagram. Shout out to Euphoria Water, my day one sponsor, and shout out to Imitation by Jarrell Queen. Been rocking out with me since the beginning of the show. And make sure you tune in tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to Think Different TV's Player Pass. We are in the throes of our Tournament of Champions, episode 7 of round 1. All right, I think I went through everything. Okay, and now I'm ready to play the hot topic. All right.
I'm coming in hot. Coming in hot.
How about no?
So I'm in the shower and I get out and I am drying my hair and my mom comes and bangs on the fucking bathroom door like this. Like that on the fucking bathroom door. So I'm like, what? And she goes, she's like, you wanna have a fucking spa day. Go to fucking sleep. I need help. Okay. So I hurry up and I get dressed and I get out and I'm like, Mom, what do you need help with? And she goes, I need you to put the pink things in my room. I look around and I'm like, I repeat what she said. I said, pink things? She looks at me like this. And then she said, JC, I need you to put the goddamn pink tote lids in my fucking bedroom. The pink fucking tote lids. Are you fucking dumb? You said pink things. Do you know how vague that is? And so I said that. And then my dad comes running out like, who are you talking to? You should never fucking talk back to your mother. They're going off. They're both just going off on me. They don't shut the fuck up. They don't shut the fuck up. Like,
Hey guys, so there's a new trend going around TikTok called the pink tote or the pink tote lid, something like that. And it's basically, it started off very lighthearted. People were sharing kind of silly stories about how they got in trouble for something minor. And now it's kind of going to a place where we're hearing very traumatic stories. And I absolutely love and want to empower people to share their stories. But I also want to give a warning to people who are sharing their stories for the first time on TikTok to be very careful about the details that you share, and just make sure that everything that you're sharing is something that you're okay with people knowing and something that you're okay with being out there forever. I'm very careful when I share my stories. I don't really give intimate details, and I don't give like private details that I don't want people to know. And I want you to know that you can get your story across and you can let us know the severity of what happened to you without giving us very personal, intimate details. One thing about TikTok is people love to hear about traumatic events. A lot of people love to just hear about bad things that have happened to people, and a lot of times it's not genuine. There's been times where I share, traumatic stories about my family, and there are people in the comments wanting me to justify why I cut off certain people after I just gave a very traumatic story time. They still want to know more details or know why you did what you did. So just know that you don't have to share those details. If you put your story out, let it be for a bigger purpose. Don't let it be for just ranting or wanting to get maybe validation or advice. If you're going to share your story, I implore you to share your story to help other people. Everything that I share on here are things that I don't mind anybody knowing, obviously because it's online, but anything that I share about my life or my story, I would tell a stranger in a bar, because it's not something that still has power over me, and it's not something that I find shameful. So if it is something that you find shameful and you might change your mind down the road, just be very careful about sharing that, because once it's online, you can't take it back. I've had a lot of my stories shared across different platforms by people who I don't know, and I didn't have a problem with that because I put it online and I knew that once it was online, it's gonna be online. So again, just make sure that you're okay with your story being out there, and don't feel pressured to give us intimate details that we don't need.
So, the pink tote moment is basically a traumatic experience you've had as a young child or teenager. It started off after a teen here on TikTok posted a video and they were in the dark talking about how their parents overreacted because she couldn't find pink things or pink tote lids in the bathroom. It's gained so much traction that USA Today wrote about it. And if you can read here, pause to read. This gives you a little bit about what happened. In a nutshell, it's basically people telling their stories about traumatic childhood experiences they experienced in the past and how it kind of changed the way that they either saw adults in their life. And it's actually really sad. Because of the initial video that the teen posted, it's been coined the pink toe moment. Let me know what y'all think. A lot of y'all had some good questions and conversation. If you'd like to continue the conversation, definitely drop a comment. I'm sorry this is so late. I was trying to get to it and I just didn't. But I hope this clarifies what it is.
My childhood was full of pink tote moments, but the one I feel that lives rent free in my head was my 9th grade year. My father sent me to school during Regents Week because he's an immigrant from another country who did not understand what Regents Week was. And he comes from a country that values education. So he said, if school is open, you shall be there. So I went to school during Regents Week with no regents and no classes. While I was at school, the principal found an activity for me to do, and that activity happened to be doing the bulletin board for the following month, which was February. I spent my morning cutting out little hearts and getting borders and basically doing arts and crafts to design this lovely Valentine bulletin board. I actually was having a splendid day. Towards the end of the day, I wanted to put the things on the bulletin board, but they said that the staple gun would be a distraction for children taking their Regents, so they asked me to wait until Regents were over. Regents end at the same time that school would have ended for me. Now, when I started 9th grade, my dad drove me to the bus stop that is by my home. He drove me to the bus stop that is by my school. He gave me a bus schedule. He said, the bus gets here at this time, you get out at this time, so you should be home by this time. I don't want to hear no excuses. I don't want to hear the bus was late. I don't give a damn. You be here at this time. Because of this and the fact that I was going to have to take an extra 10 to 15 minutes in order to use the staple gun on the bulletin board after school had ended, I called my stepmother to ask my father if I could stay to do the bulletin board. I made this call towards the end of the day. She told me to let her call my father and wait in the office and she would call me back. She said, do not leave until you hear back from me. I said, okay. They told me that I couldn't wait in the office and they sent me back outside. So I went back to working on my little hearts until I heard back from my stepmother. My stepmother got back to me about 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes after Regents ended and said, your father said that you cannot stay, pack up and go home immediately. So I said, okay. And I put all the stuff for the bulletin board away, and I packed up my belongings, and I went home thinking that I had done everything correctly. The 5 to 10 minutes that it had taken for me to receive a response and pack up my things caused me to miss the first bus that my dad said that I should be on. But for once, because I know that I called home, I was not worried. So I'm thinking, things are sweet. I'm on the bus riding home. I'm kicking my feet. I had a good day, damn it. I arrive home maybe about 10 minutes after the regular time that I'm supposed to be home. I get to the door and I push my key in the door. And before I can even finish turning my key, the door opens and my father snatches me in by my hair and throws me on the floor. He starts yelling, "I told you that you could not stay, but you do what you want to do," and just starts wailing on me. I'm saying this man is holding me by my hair. He's punching me in my face. At one point, I end up on the floor and this man is kicking me. I wore braces at the time, and the wire that goes across the front of the braces, he kicked me in my mouth and the wire shifted and went through the side of my face. When he finally feels like, I guess, I've had enough, I remember just sitting on that cold tile floor, crying my eyes out. He blacked my eye, he busted my lip, blood is leaking from my mouth. I'm touching my hair, it's falling out in clumps in my hand. And I'm confused because I didn't stay. I waited on the phone call and I left. But my father didn't account for the time that it took for him to say no and the message to get back to me. So he assumed that I stayed anyways and did what I wanted to do. He beat me so bad that day, I didn't have to go back to school for the rest of Regents Week. He didn't send me. In fact, he packed me up and took me with him to another state because I looked so bad. I knew he wasn't going to let me out of his sight. He knew I was going to tell. And for people who don't understand what the pink tote moment is, it's a moment where something small that should be able to be discussed turns into something much bigger than it needs to be because the parent lacks emotional discipline. All my dad had to do was take a step back and think. But he was so driven by his rage and control and power, and just the idea that I would have defied him made him violently angry that he couldn't think. Brain cells were null and void. He beat the absolute brakes off of me that day because it didn't occur to him that there was time needed for his wife to call me back and the school to then relay the message to me. The pink tote moment is a generation of children telling you how emotionally immature and destitute their parents were. My childhood is full of pink tote moments, but that was the moment that I realized that common sense left my father when it came to power and control.
My entire childhood was just comprised of pink toad lids moments. I was in elementary school and I hadn't seen my mom for years because she was working in a different country. We were left with abusive family members. She came to visit, and what did she do? She inspected my notebooks to make sure it didn't have any dog ears on them, and she checked all my crayon boxes, and there was one crayon that was missing, and I got a beating that day. It was when she remarried, we got a stepdad, and the day after we met him, we were forced to call him dad, and if we didn't, we would get a beating. It was when she forced us to say thank you for groceries. We had to go downstairs and tell him thank you for buying us food. It was when she told my older sister to go and put on more clothes and asked her if she was trying to seduce our stepdad. It was when she threatened us to burn all our textbooks and notebooks and not send us to school anymore if we didn't listen to her. It was when she would break all our dishes and our cups if she didn't have her coffee in the morning in a timely manner. It was when my older sister tried to unalive herself, and when she was in the hospital, my mom said, "You are so stupid. You couldn't even do it right. If you're gonna do it properly." It was when she would use my sister and I as babysitters and just go and do whatever she wanted with my stepdad for however long, even though we had homework and exams in the morning. It was when she kept putting men before us kids, and she kicked my little sister out when she found out that she was a lesbian. It was when she thought I was with a boy at my older sister's graduation, and when she found me and I was just getting food, she dragged me by my hair in front of everyone and told all my family members that I was just a whore and a slut. It was when I was getting ready to go to college and my mom was beating my little brother for not cleaning the toilet properly, like punching him, and I intervened and she kicked me out and I became homeless. I'm honestly gonna need a part 2.
Woo! That was a lot to unpack. Let's do so. So pink tote lid moment, like the young lady said, is, I'm gonna use exactly her words, is a generation of children sharing their stories about how emotionally destitute their parents were. I've had some pink tote lid moments. I don't like to do too much of, well, I mean, this is my show and I do what I want pretty much. But um I don't like to divulge too much about my, excuse me, about my personal life as far as like my childhood goes, because at the end of the day, everyone is pretty much solid. There is no animosity, no, but there were moments where as a child I felt scared. There were times as a child I felt like something could be discussed, something could be told to me and not beaten to me. you know, I am a millennial. And Gen Xers, they came up with the baby boomers, and the baby boomers pretty much boomed their butts. And so that was the way of the world, okay? As we evolve and this parenting thing takes on different avenues, and we go through a lot of different stuff, and rules change, laws are made, we shift our parenting. So our parenting of today is not necessarily the parenting of yesterday. And I'm going to share my pink tote lid moment. Now, before I do this, I want to let y'all know that I am healed from it. I am progressing. I do have some, what is it, some stuff, some matter left over from it. It is still very well in my memory. So let me take y'all back to when I was 15. I was 15, and this is high school, in high school. And I where my parents lived was right across from a park. And it was this guy that I liked. And when I took my sister and brother over to the park earlier that day, he just so happened to be over in the park. And so we was talking, we was chatting, and then after a while, my brother and sister went home. And my parents are creatures of habit. Like, ever since I can remember, they're creatures of habit. They get home by a certain time. And however, it never occurred to me that they wouldn't want me over in the park as it's getting dark outside. Of course, this is before they put, the sensor lights out there, and street lights and everything like that. It was pretty dark. All right. And we're talking a school night. So, I look back on it, and me being a mom now, I'm like, my bad. I was not a terrible teen. It's not like I was running away or doing bad in school or anything like that. It was just one of those things where, it was a boy I really liked. And after my brother and sister went home, we just kind of milled around in the park for a little bit. And then I was like, it's getting kind of late, it's getting dark. So I start heading back home. Now, where we was at, it was literally like
not that far away. I could see my house from where I was at. So I started walking. I saw my mom and dad pull up into the parking spot and everything like that. Didn't even occur to me, oh, I'm gonna be in trouble. I was like, I'm gonna just walk to the house. Everything's gonna be fine. Because my parents were like, I'm not trying to say that they were like lax, but they were like strict either. So, it wasn't like crazy like that. So all I remember is that I started walking back and then I heard my dad's whistle. So my family, they have a certain whistle. And he started walking across the street. So I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna meet up with him because I'm walking back as he's, you know, signaling for me to come home. And I start walking and I didn't think he was mad. I really didn't think he was mad. I'm walking, I'm almost home, and all he said was like, "Where was you at?" And I said, "I was just coming from the park." And before I could say anything else, I got hit in the face. And I was just like, oh, what the hell? Like, what was that? And up until this point, like my mom was the disciplinarian. She was the one that would give us the whoopings and stuff like that. So I never really experienced anything from my dad. And so that kind of like was like, what in the world? And like how the parents be like, oh, I guess you ain't gonna do that again. In my head, I was like, I am never doing that again. I don't know what. I think he was more shocked than I was that he did it because we just kind of like went home in silence, and then it was just like you don't have any phone privileges or nothing like that. And I was just like, I was still just reeling from the fact that I just got hit. Like, and the thing is about it is that we all we never I never up until that point thought that that could ever be a reality for me. And it made me be like, whoa, like I didn't think it was a pink tote lid moment, like how these people, how they, I was just thinking like, dang, I really made my dad mad. I really disappointed him. Oh my gosh, like I would never do that again because in my nature, I'm like a people pleaser. I'm a person that likes to make people happy. So I was like, I made my dad really upset to the point where he had to physically discipline me. And that, I'm not gonna lie, it happened, and then I kind of like didn't know how to be for a while, but then eventually, like, I got back to normal because I just was like, I'm not going to ever do anything like that again. But it's the pink tote lit moment for me because this, we always imagine, well, coming up and watching Full House and watching, Family Matters and seeing how the parents would just sit their kids down and be like, you know, you really worried us out there. You were out there in the dark. We didn't know where you were. We were scared, and I'm like, oh geez, I didn't know that it was going to be that way. I didn't know that you would be upset. I'm so sorry. And then we all like hug it out at the end. And that was not the warm fuzzy feeling of Full House and Family Matters that I got. So I was like, okay, my family is not like Full House and my family is not like Family Matters. Okay. So we're not gonna do that again. Um yeah, there's another one, but it was when I was a little bit older. And but I'm not going to share that one because I totally still don't know why that happened, and it's still hard for me to process, and it was a lot of things that happened as a result of that. So I'm not going to share this other one, but yeah. So I learned that, you know, as cool as my dad is, he is not someone to be played with. And you know, and but at the same time, like I look back on it, and yes, I was in the wrong, but also I feel that it could have been told to me not to be out. And I would have rather been yelled at. I would have rather been yelled at and the phone get taken away, and I still would have never did it again because, you know, once you raise your voice above a certain decibel to me, I get like real. I don't shut down. I really I get anxious and sad, and I can't believe I did this, and why are you so upset? And you know, so yeah, that was my pink tote lit moment. Um, I really went back and forth, like, do I really want to share this? But it was a moment in my life where, you know, it things changed a little bit for me. Uh, you know, when you're 15 years old, you're going through that teenager phase where, you know, your parents aren't as cool as you used to think they were. But I still was thinking like my parents was cool. I was still thinking like they, you know, I got disciplined by my mom, and I got disciplined, but at the same time, it wasn't to that extent, and it didn't make me like really like stop and think about everything. Not saying that my mom wasn't, her discipline wasn't enough, because it was enough. But at the same time, it was just like, wow, like this is crazy. And I don't really go to the park like that. Even like in my older people, they having events and all that stuff over there. I go over there and I do whatever, and then I come right back, and I try to be back before like it get dark. But it just it's something, and I keep thinking like, dang, if I would have walked over to the store and then acted like I came from the store, I wouldn't have got in trouble. Or, you know, I don't know. I at that point, it just happened, and then I was just like, wow. And the crazy thing about it is that and it also made me look at my siblings a certain way, because they on me. They was like, oh, Kyle over in the park, like. And then, like, when I got back, it was just like, it was just weird. It was just weird. It was a weird moment. But it happened. I was 15 years ago. But it is something that it leaves an imprint on you. It leaves an imprint on you. So, you know, those pink tote lid moments, you know, can make you reevaluate your relationship with that person, and also reevaluate just who that person is to you. So yeah, yeah. And like I said, it's been pink toe lid moments since then. And even more so was like you get them when you're young. I think our parents really try to shield us as much as they possibly can from adult stuff. Well, if you are not in a toxic family, you know, the parents for the most part try to shield you from that toxicity. So or if there is any, and they try to protect you and keep you from feeling a certain way towards certain people, so they won't like let's say your mom knows that her brother is a bum, like a bum, like don't have no monies, always freeloading, this, that, a third, right? But to you, a kid, you just be thinking like, that's my uncle. He cool. Like when he come around, we play video games and we hang out. And he always here, to hang out with me. And so it don't process to you until later on. You be like, whoa, like that dude was there every day. He ain't had no job. Because you get older, you realize like, okay, adults, they work. Productive adults work. They go to work or they go to school. They have something going on in their lives. And then but you sitting up there and you're like, this dude was always there to play video games with me. He ain't never had nothing going on. So you start to realize, wow, my uncle was a bum. But the thing is that you don't think that as a kid. And your mom did a great job. It's something you just realized. Your mom never said to you, "Oh, your uncle is a deadbeat. He's a bum." You just get older and you realize that your uncle's a bum, right? Just using that as an example. So, pink totelet moments also grow you up faster while you're still a child. While you're still a child, you grow up faster in your mind. Your mind developed a little bit faster because now you're in fight or flight, or you're in a protective mode, or you just don't know how to be around that person anymore, and you don't know how to process how this person is towards you, so you just don't know how to be. um so throughout this process, because I want to keep it moving, throughout this process of these people sharing their pink tote lid moments, parents are watching. Young parents, they're on TikTok, they're scrolling through, they're seeing these pink toilet lid moments, and then they're having an aha moment. They're having an epiphany because they're like, oh my gosh, am I a pink toilet lid mom or dad?
So you guys are asking what a pink tote lid parent is, and essentially it started from this teenager that had made a video crying and frustrated in her bedroom, telling a story about how she was in the bathroom taking a shower, getting dressed, and then the mom started banging on the door and told her, hurry up, it's not salon time, get out of the bathroom, I need your help. So she hurried up, she came out of the bathroom, and she's like, yeah, mom, what do you need help with? And the mom was like, I need you to move those pink things to my bedroom. So then the girl was like, okay, like what pink things? That's very vague. And then the mom like lost it and said like, the pink tote lids, move them to my bedroom. And just went off on the daughter, and the daughter was just like taken back how, frustrated this parent was, screaming at her over something so simple. And then the dad came out and was like, what's going on? And started, yelling at the daughter too. And then, the daughter's explaining the situation in her bedroom and just frustrated that just not expecting her parents to freak out on her over like the littlest things. But I guess a pink tote lid parent can be basically whatever you make it. Some people are making videos of like more dramatic childhood experiences with their parents, very overstimulated, maybe abusive, different scenarios. And then some is just, us normal parents that, take some of our frustration out on our kids. So I guess in reality, it's just whatever you want to make it. But that's where the pink tote lid parent thing came from, was this girl's video. And I will tag her below in my comments if you want to see the original.
Eyes are a little red because I had a little bit of a meltdown. This morning, I was 1000% a pink tote lid mom. If anyone has seen that, I'm sure you have. And I'm sure for most people, they look at that and they're like, oh my God, that mother's horrible. Yeah. There was yelling this morning. We had a field trip that we needed to dress up for. We didn't have the right clothes. We didn't like the clothes we had picked out. And there was yelling, and we were racing to the bus, so there wasn't even really time to make up, to make it better. It was terrible. And I was that mom that was yelling about shoes equal to pink toelets. That was me yelling, and it sucks. And that's the rest of the day. That's how I'll be feeling the rest of the day.
Well, I am back from my hour-long rabbit hole trip to figure out what a pink tote lid mom is. And here I am to say that I am a pink tote lid mom. And that sucks. But I think we've all probably been there. But I definitely have been there a lot more times than I would like to admit. I've tried medications, and I don't like the way they make me feel. I don't like feeling like a zombie the next day. So, thanks for letting me know that I am a pink tote lid mom. I think I just need to start apologizing, because as a parent, we should probably apologize when we're not right. That'd be the first step.
So yeah, being a pink tote lid parent, I know it hits a lot of people hard when they be like, oh, like you watching this episode, you like, my pink tote lid parent. And the crazy thing about it is that it could be something really small. I think a lot of times we get gaslit when you're a child. You get gaslit and you're told, oh, well, there's no manual for being a parent, and you were a difficult child, and this, that, and the third, and I had to do what I had to do. And that's, like I said, that's just gaslighting, because that parent still has not done the work on themselves to realize that there was something emotionally unstable about them to make them lash out at their child like they did. And so, if you are a parent and you feel overwhelmed with your child, sometimes, I know it's easier said than done, but sometimes it's best to just see. It all depends on the type, like how old your child is. If your child is an infant, there's nothing really you can do. You can't walk away from the child, but what you can do is make sure that you have a very strong network. And that's what was wrong with a lot of people nowadays. They don't have that support system. So when they feel overwhelmed, they can reach out to that support system. So if that's the case, you have to develop a support system. Now, most people like, oh, well, I don't got no family, and for these people, da da da. Well, sometimes you have to go out and you have to make your support system. It sucks, but when Wise was when we were told that our son Wise was on the spectrum, it's not like it's even though it's super common now for kids to be on the spectrum, which is just bananas to me. There still aren't a lot of resources for parents that have children on the spectrum. There is no set thing that's like, this is set in stone. This is for parents who have kids on the spectrum. We still have to advocate for our kids. We still have to do a lot of things to make sure our kids get the education they're supposed to receive, get the treatment that they're supposed to receive. It's still a battle. It's still a battle. And I want to say it's still fairly new that this is an actual diagnosis, because so many people was just like, back in the day, they used to just say, oh, he touched in the head, or, you know, that boy got a few screws loose, or, you know, and they wouldn't really, or they just put him in a special class, or him or her, and they wouldn't really get down to the root of the problem. Now, not saying that it is a problem. And that's it. It it's a different way that they view the world. So they're overstimulated by certain things that other people aren't overstimulated by. So that's just what we have to realize. Like, everybody is different and everything like that. But there weren't a lot of resources for us. Now, a lot of parents, and I'm trying to remember where I was going with this. There are a lot of parents out there struggling because they don't have a support system. And they have, and like I was saying, we had to go and we had to find our tribe. Me and his father had to find people who was going through the same thing we was going through. We had to find people and build our network. And like I said, if you don't have friends and family that can be around you and give you that support, you have to seek it. It won't just fall in your lap. Closed mouths don't get fed. If you don't ask for help, no one's gonna know to help you. So that's one of the things that I want to just put out there. Also, therapy, healing your traumas, because if you can't love your child the way you want to love your child, because there's something holding you back in your mind and in your spirit and in your soul, that's something that you have to go and talk to somebody about. If you feel like when you think about being a parent, it makes you want to, you get what I'm saying? If it's something, if you have a child and you don't want to get close to them, you don't want to interact with them, you don't want to be a parent, find out why that is. Because your kids should not go without a parent because you don't feel like being a parent. You brought them into the world, so now you have to do what you have to do to make sure that they have their mom or their dad. And it's unfair. It's unfair to them at the end of the day. So you have to heal those traumas. You have to go to the therapist. And I know people like, oh, well, you know, therapy costs an arm and a leg and this and the third. Well, I will say this: talk to someone. Talk to someone who will listen and won't judge, okay? I know it's hard to find that safe space to land, but once you find that person, let them know. Even if you have to anonymously, like, send a letter to a well-known therapist and be like, you know, this is what I'm going through and I don't know what I'm going to do and blah, 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 blah. Like, I feel this way sometimes, and you know, just to get their feedback. If they're on a podcast, they're on a show like Dr. Phil when he had his show. I don't know if he's still on, but people used to send him massive letter. I need help. I need help. I need help. I need help. So just don't let it snowball. Don't let it get to a point where it's beyond you. Like, it's gotten so bad that you're in a depressive state. You can't even think of it, and you're taking it out on your kids more and more. Uh, And then also, guys, there's things that are just like culturally different. And so when like just recently there was a situation where a young lady told her boyfriend like her parents are trying to marry her off to this guy overseas, and and all this stuff. And then the girl refused to go home, and so the parents showed up to the school, and it got to the point where the dad was attacking his own daughter and almost unalived her right there in front of all these kids at the school, trying to do a unaliving. It's another word for it, but for the sake of being on YouTube and everything like that. But he tried to do an honor unaliving right there, like choking her out to the point where she passed out. But somebody they was able to save her from her parents, and and now I don't know what's going to happen to the young lady, but um you know a pink tote lid moment is supposed to be a parent losing sight. Like, let's say I felt bad the other day because I was in an Uber with my son. We was heading to my mom and dad's house. He kept calling, kept saying, "Mom, mom, mom, mom." I'm like, "Yes, yes, son, yes. What do you need? Yes, what do you need?" And then at one point, I was just like, "Stop calling me. What do you want?" And he was like, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." And I felt so bad because you know how long I waited for him to say mom? And now he says it all the time. It drives me insane. But in that moment, I had to take a step back and be like, yo, he's calling you because he can't help it. He can't help it. Like, and when he's around me, I'm gonna hear mom at least 100 times a day. And so I have to prepare myself mentally to be in that situation. My mind was elsewhere, but I instantly felt bad after I said, "What do you want?" And he was just like, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, sorry," because he thought he had angered me, and it wasn't anger. It was just like, because every time you call me, it would be nothing. Like, he don't want nothing. He just wants to call me just to call me. So it was just like, it's just like Doreen and Stewart from off of Mad TV. What? Like, what do you want? But I instantly felt like mad at myself because I was like, I should have still kept it cool. Being his mom, I should have kept it cool and just kept saying, yes, yes, what is it, honey? What is it? What do you need? So I guess, if ever he does a pink tote lid moment, I hope that there will be the worst of a pink tote lid moment he would ever mention of me. You get what I'm saying? Because for the most part, I the advantage of having him when I was older is that I'm a lot more emotionally stable than I would have been if I had him at a younger age, if that makes sense. So I'm able to exercise a lot of patience. And that is a blessing, okay? That is a blessing to be able to take a step out of myself and say, okay, get it together and not blame him. He's a child. You get what I'm saying? So I have two more videos to show you guys. Then we're going to get out of here. The first one is a pink tote lid moment as an adult. How is it when you're now an adult and your parents still have not done the work to assess their traumas? Excuse me. So they are still treating you a certain way. So This is pink tote lid moment as an adult.
No one's talking about the pink tote lid moment when you go back to your parents' house after being out of it for 15 years as a full-grown adult and experiencing the shit they did to you as a child all over again. So over the holidays, I went to visit my mom, and my sister and her husband were there, and cousins came over and all sorts of stuff. My mom's house is freezing. She keeps it so cold. Every night I was sleeping with my coat on in the bed. So every day I'm like, it is so cold. Like, it's cold, and I'm like making it known that I'm freezing in this house. So me and my sister and my brother-in-law are chilling in the living room one day, and on this particular day it was especially cold in the house. My sister's like, yeah, mom came out on the porch earlier today and was laughing about how she knows you turned up the thermostat, and so she turned it completely off, and now it's 63 degrees in the house, and she's laughing about it, that she got you back. And now we're all suffering because of it. I don't know where the thermostat is in that house. Hello? So I said, I don't know where the thermostat is in this house. I didn't touch it. And the floodgates of traumatic memories came back from childhood where I was constantly blamed for things I didn't do, or even things that never happened at all. Actually punished for things that never happened. I'm a 38-year-old woman. If we're being honest, I've been out of the house pretty much since I was 19. That's almost 20 years. I just lived with them for a few months after college. So almost 20 years I've been out of the house, and they're still doing this shit. And I felt bad for my younger self because of how much she was abused and gaslit her entire upbringing. And the fact that my mom would just laugh at how she got me back. That's actually crazy. I don't know. But it happening to you as an adult, really, it's something else.
So, being, pink tote lid moments as an adult, I'm sure there's people out there that go through it still, but that's when you kind of just realize that your parents are narcissistic and that you need to just move on and cut ties. I know it's hard, but there's a lot of people that are cutting those strings from their parents, because their parents are just like no good. But this last one that I'm going to show you guys. So there are people sharing their pink toe lid moments, and they are really turning this into a trend. If y'all want to see more about the pink tote lid moments, you just hashtag pink tote lid moments or pink tote lid on TikTok, and it should just pop right on up. And you can, if you're into listening to all these stories, feel free and go ahead and listen to all the stories. But this young lady was like, this is a little bit too much trauma for me, because as much as I like to hear a good story, this is just too much. Okay,
so I'm sure you didn't see it, but I was actually just talking about how I was gonna start watching the pink tote lid videos, and I thought about pink tote bag. Child, okay, so now I know what it is. It's basically talking about the time you had an overstimulated parent, or mostly overstimulated, like mother, grandmother situation. Overstimulated in the sense of she went off on you and it wasn't really warranted, but at the same time, she was just like not giving a fuck because she didn't know no better on how to react towards you. Oh, babe, we can talk about that all day. My living with my grandmother was all of that. But I don't know. Like, I feel like we do a lot of trauma reveling to get popular on this here app. I don't want to do that. I do know the last time I had one of those moments, it led me here to where I live in this apartment and not with her. So, it's simple as that. You're not finna get mad at me because I made a mistake. And she said I dragged the chair on her floor. And it all went into, well, you can move out. And I'm like, you know what? I can. So I did. Indeed. Because it was never that deep. But I don't know, child. We
We ain't finna do all that. It's a lot of trauma on this app. They want you to partake in all the trauma trends and hope that you get popular from telling your trauma story. I don't want to have a trauma bond relationship with my audience. I want us to fuck with each other for real. Do you fuck with me for real? You got glasses like I got. Your room be messy like mine. I ain't finna show you. Just know it's a little messy. You know, you go to 9 to 5, go to work like me. Can't get your nails done. You know, not right now. I'm gonna see about that. Cause I really do want to get my nails done. Haven't been to the gym in a minute, but wish you could go. Cause child, today it was rainy, dark, and cold. I'm just yapping now, but just like, fuck with me for real. Don't fuck with me because I have to tell you a trauma story. We ain't got a trauma bond.
So trauma bonding with your audience. It's so funny. Like she's like, I want y'all to F with me for real. Like and and I get where she coming from, because after you share something like that on TikTok, that's all people gonna ever come to you for. They're going whenever you post something happy or anything like that. Well, it depends. It depends. If you're a person that's always been down on your luck and everything like that, and you finally come up, some people do be like, "Oh my gosh, like yes, that's what I'm talking about. The come up, the glow up, all that uppity up stuff, and once it's up, then it's stuck." But you don't want to be that person that every time you jump on TikTok, you always gotta tell a sad story. You always got people like, "What are you still going through that with your mom? Are you still going through that with your dad? Are you still like?" And then you gotta keep hopping on there to update people and stuff like, no. So I totally get where she coming from. In no ways did I try to trauma bond with my audience today. I was just simply giving y'all an example of what I was talking about, even though it was a very real story. But at the same time, again, no trauma bonding here. I know people that are watching right now are watching because they love me for real. Okay. Well, that's all I really have for y'all tonight. Like I said, I don't want to keep y'all too long. Make sure that y'all hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss any exclusive interviews, replays, or new episodes of Think Different TV, which is going on its 4th season, January 6th, 2025. Also, let's share the love by sharing the live. And after you share the live, make sure you hashtag TDTV. If you're watching the replay, hey, make sure you hashtag replay and share your comment below, right down there. And also let me jump and see if I have any comments. Oh, crap. I had a lot of comments. What's up, Triple Affair? Triple Affair is in the building. Put up the brain, the TV, and the 2 exclamation points, which is our symbol here at Think Different TV. I got a merch website. It's down at the bottom. No, it's not at the bottom, but I got a website. So make sure y'all hit me up and get some of that merch. He said all spit, somebody gonna get arrested. Oh, so her dad needed to be arrested to choke abuse. Oh, spit. And he said us 90s and the 2000 babies, pink tote moments would have a lot of our parents put away for a while. Sheesh, man. That's wild, Jack. He said, these are wild. I got to look up more. It feels like hashtag we listen and we don't judge on steroids. And he said, yeah, get my butt whooped with Full House and Family Matters in the background. He said, thank God it wasn't like Family Matters calling Eddie some House of Diddy representative. I should have screened that comment before I read it. Crazy. He said, okay, Mom, I applaud that accountability. And he said, this will help me as a parent in the future. I'm going to know how to handle things with a level head. I got you. I got you. I got you. I knew what you meant. I knew what you meant. And he hashtag Tdtv. Thank you so much for tuning in, Triple Fire. And all of those who tuned in tonight. My final thoughts on this, these pink tote lid moments. Do the work to heal. Seek the therapy you need to seek. If you don't have any children now, and you are still very much without a child and you can do the work now. Because once you have a child, it's going to be even harder. And don't think having a child is going to heal your trauma, because it's not. It's not. It's going to amplify it. Why? Because as much as we don't like to say it, even if we feel so far removed from our parents, we're like, I'm never going to be like my parents, stuff like that. There's still traces and still imprints on your life and on, you know, on the fabric of your life. And so you can't totally get away from that. There are going to be some traits that you carry over into your adult life that is very much like your parents. So, yeah. But I just want to also say that I love my parents. I love my mom. I love my dad. I know at that time my dad was what, 35? So I give him a little bit of grace, because at 30 something now, I can totally get how you could be scared, and you can not know, and you can lose your head, momentarily. So, like I said, I give my dad a lot of grace, because and here's another reason why I give grace. That is maybe out of my entire life, maybe 2 moments in my life where me and my dad didn't jive on a very serious level. But for the most part, my entire life, my dad has always been there. And it helps me not overlook, but heal from that specific incident. Because, like I said, my dad has always been there. He's always been a really great person to me. And, and we got music, and we got things in common. We got Eagles in common. Like, we got a lot of things in common. We are very much father and daughter. so it's like, yeah, I always tell people, I said, when you see a certain side come out of me, that's my dad's side. You don't want to mess with my dad's side, okay? who we get things done, okay? But yeah, so I don't want y'all to think like, oh yeah, but I just was giving y'all an example of what a pink tote lid moment is, and shared my story. And it is what it is at this point. But I hope you guys have a stellar holiday. We still got one more episode in this year, in this season. And next week, we're gonna have a little fun. Okay. We're not gonna talk about trauma. We're gonna go out and have some fun in the last episode, which will be on the 30th. And our final episode of round 1 will air the 31st on New Year's Eve. So yeah, guys, I appreciate y'all for tuning in and having fun with me tonight. Shout out to Imitation by Jarrell, Queen been rocking out with me, and shout out to Euphoria Water, the cleanest, healthiest water in Philly. Alkaline water with minerals. It is good and good for you. If you're gonna hydrate the right way. Get your Euphoria Water today. You can find Euphoria Water on IG under Euphoria Water. That's UPHORIAWATER. And if you live in the Philadelphia area, you can always hit up Captain to have Euphoria Water delivered to your door at 267-707-8279. Guys, it's been great. I hope y'all have a wonderful holiday. I hope y'all got a lot of value out of what I've shown you tonight. And as always, have a great week, and I'll see you all next week. Bye.
I'm coming in hot.
Hey guys, Lashia here from Think Different TV, which is every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Shout out to my Tdtv fam all over the country. And I have a Tdtv exclusive for you concerning my sponsor, Euphoria Water. Euphoria Water is the cleanest, healthiest water in Philly, alkaline with minerals, no chemicals, no additives. It is good and good for you. If you're going to hydrate the right way. Get your Euphoria Water today. You can find Euphoria Water on IG under Euphoria Water. That's UPHORIAWATER. And if you live in the Philadelphia area and want Euphoria Water delivered to your home, contact Captain at 267-707-8279. And why are we in my bathroom? Well, I want to show you my new Euphoria Water shower head. There you go. It's so bright and shiny and beautiful. It took me literally seconds to set up. I just unscrewed my old one and screwed this one on. It has several different settings. You can get the jet setting. You can do the regular shower setting. It is amazing. And also to know that I have the purest water hit my body is the greatest feeling. So make sure you make this investment, because I am so happy that I made this investment. Call Captain at 267-707-8279 to put in that order, or you can hit them up on Euphoria Water on IG. I'm telling you, it's the best investment, the best thing I ever did.
But the secret is you got to coordinate. Most people don't coordinate, so you got to coordinate.
Imagine a high-stakes trivia game show where contestants face off in intense battles of wit, strategy, and nerve. Every decision matters. You can take a chance on yourself or your competitor with the ultimate goal to come out on top and win the grand prize. It's not just about knowledge, it's about strategy, guts, and the thrill of uncertainty. Our enigmatic host, Bubbles, guides contestants through the ultimate trivia showdown. This is Think Different TV's Player Pass. Are you ready to pop? Catch Think Different TV's Player Pass every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Think Different TV YouTube channel. Uh-oh. What happens in episode 7 of round 1 when Ariel goes up against Trey in the Tournament of Champions? Find out by tuning in Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Think Different TV YouTube channel. Enjoying the show? Big fan of trivia game shows? Would you like to be a contestant on Tdtv's Pop? We'd love to have you. Contact us at 267-225-1824 or email LashiaStar2@gmail.com.
The champ is here! 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 The champ is here!
I go drink water and mind my business. Drink water and mind my business. I go drink water and mind my business. Drink water and mind my business.
Think Different TV. Live every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hosted by me, your girl Lashia. Join me as I discuss social topics, spotlight independent artists, and share financial tips. Join the conversation. I want to hear what you have to say. Think Different TV, where minds meet.
You're the reason I